Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday, February 13th, Mardi Gras, day before Valentine's Day, Ash Wednesday, a lot going on this week. And we thought a few days ago, maybe we'd be in for a little bit of a snowstorm as well. Not the case, but we saw this coming, or at least our meteorologist on News Channel 13 today saw it coming. Christina Talamo said it before this time yesterday, more than 24 hours out. You know what? Not going to be in our favor for the people who want snow. So let's bring Christina in here to try to explain it to me, and maybe for some of you watching as well, as to why this ended up being really a complete miss of a storm, Christina, because go back to last week, Thursday, Friday, you were already projecting it out. Hey, Tuesday morning's commute could be a little bit of a mess with the snow, and then things really changed.
Yeah, that's for sure, Chris. And that's why we always wait a little while before we put out those snow totals, because you really can see so many changes based on just how the storm develops. So in this case, we're talking about the exact track of that low pressure as it tracks up the coast. And if it's maybe 20 miles further north, that means that 8 to 12 inch range where the bulk of that snow is going to be closer to our area. If it's a little bit further south, that means it's going to be, once again, a miss. And that's kind of what we saw in this situation. I've got some graphics pulled up, kind of explain a little bit what happened specifically in this situation. And again, the problem was just because the storm is too far to our south, so we had to slide all those higher numbers on southward. But this is a loop from the last 12 hours of our satellite and radar, and you can see that storm system kind of taking shape in the Tennessee Valley and then tracking up along the coast where it is right now, the bulk of that snow that's coming down right around the tri-state. And what kind of happened with this system, or what models we're picking up on last week that kind of changed, were that models were expecting two systems to kind of phase together. So we have, the way the jet stream is set up, we have a northern stream system that would be across that northern jet stream that you kind of see just over Canada right now. A system, a very weak system off to our west. That could bring us some spotty snow showers overnight tonight. Not much to it. And then that dip in the jet stream over the southeast, that's kind of where that area of low pressure that is bringing the snow to our south today, that's where that originated from. Now, if these two phase together, they kind of merge, that energy combines, it ramps up.
Okay.
What would have happened if they had phased together? That would have pulled that system further north.
So those stayed separated, but you had an early indicator or early indication, because you would even tell us during commercial breaks during some of the newscasts recently, I don't know, this thing is going to be tricky, and there's a good chance, I remember you saying there's a good chance this really mostly stays to our south. So what were you seeing? And give us a little bit of the insight here into the forecasting that goes into this. We're not just taking computer models and throwing them on the air and hoping we're right. I mean, I know you're taking all the information, you're putting the forecast together, but you saw something maybe even late last week where you thought, I don't know that this is really going to work out to be a big snowmaker.
Yeah, and the big thing about that, Chris, is also because, again, if not all of the models, we look at a lot of different models, if some of them are outliers showing something slightly different, or in this case, we had certain models going gung-ho with the snow from the beginning, and then slowly backing up with new model runs. So we don't actually look exactly at the numbers every time. We kind of look at the trends. So are all the models starting to come into agreement, or are they getting further apart? In this case, that was kind of a red flag as to, are they all coming into agreement, or it kind of looks like they're a little bit different. And a big thing about this storm as well, with typical systems like this, very sharp cutoff, which means, and you're kind of seeing that just south of our area. Someone sent a message in that they were traveling down 87 on southward, and right past exit 17, it was just dry, cloudy, and that's a lot of what we're seeing across our area today. But then once they hit the exit, they said it was like blizzard conditions. They couldn't see. They had to pull over, crazy snow. So it really is just a sharp cutoff. So when we talk about, if it was further north, we would have seen this. If it was further south, we would have seen this. That really is so important, because when you have such a sharp cutoff by a couple of miles, that means if that storm was just a smidge further north, that heavy snow that he was even seeing driving south, where they probably have a couple of inches on the ground already, that could have been in the Albany area. So it really makes all the difference when you talk about the exact position of those areas of low pressure. And also in this case, when we're looking at some of those computer models that come in, that's even before the storm has even formed yet. So
right.
That's also why it's hard to put out those snow totals that early. Just knocked on my microphone. That early in advance there. So kind of a lot that really goes into it. Looking at if systems phase, do they get tugged on north? Does it dip on south? Where the energy goes, the timing, the sharp cutoff. We have a lot of dry air in place, kind of helping with that cutoff right now as well. But yeah, yesterday morning when I was looking at the models compared to Sunday morning, we got to make some changes here. This is diving south, and this morning, even compared to yesterday morning, was even further south. So, we get all these changes, and whenever we get new information, we will change our forecast. So as you can expect, the weather forecast is always going to change, but maybe not so close to the, beginning of a storm. So that was kind of a little bit making this storm a little bit trickier, because most of the time we get a good handle on it within the 48 hours before the storm. Don't see a total 180 in a situation like this. For sure.
Okay, so dry today, dry for Valentine's Day. Run us through the rest of what you've got queued up here. Maybe it's even just the 7-day, but whatever you've got. We're not getting snow now. People who want snow, obviously, hope we were part of this. What they're getting in, like you said, all the way really up the coast until it gets to us,
and then it just stops right here.
Yeah. Okay, so dry today, Mardi Gras, Ash Wednesday, Valentine's Day. The next couple of days here, weather will not be an issue, but a chance for snow maybe later in the week, right? But not measurable stuff still.
Yeah, not expecting really anything crazy. We could get a couple of inches Thursday into Friday. We'll keep an eye on that, but again, no big storm system, big impactful weather systems that we're really tracking over the next several days there. So we've got our first warning lived up. We're just showing you where the snow is now. Again, snow lovers, if you want the snow today, you got to drive on south towards New York City, Long Island. You'll get it there. But yeah, we're right on the edge, and that's what I was talking about, just kind of the northern fringe of this system there. Snowfall forecast, I'll show you the update again compared to yesterday morning. We dropped it even further, maybe a coating to an inch or two. That's really about it. I would say Southern Columbia, Southern Berkshire counties, best shot of where you'll really get anything today. So don't expect much snow today. Now, with that weak system, we were talking about that disturbance over the Great Lakes. That could lead to some spotty snow showers overnight tonight. Not really expecting much when it comes to accumulations. Tomorrow, Valentine's Day, we got some dry weather. We got some sunshine. It'll be cold, though. Lower 30s. Feeling colder than that because of a gusty breeze up to around 30, 35 miles per hour out of the northwest. Then Thursday night into Friday, another opportunity for some snow showers. Could get maybe an inch or two across the area. So that'll be our next system we'll be keeping an eye on, but it won't be significant by any means. But we'll likely see at least a coating out on the ground. Staying in the 30s all week. Another opportunity for some spotty snow showers around on Saturday. Drier Sunday and Monday. And more typical temperatures for this time of the year. So no big storms really on the horizon. Again, kind of a bummer for all the snow lovers when we've had a lot of these storms that have just been too far to the south or just much mild air in place. So we'll keep our fingers crossed for end of February into March.
All right, Christina, thank you for walking us through exactly what happened with that storm system. Of course, the latest on News Channel 13 live at noon, but we're here multiple times a day on YouTube, 13 Now, with breaking news, the day's biggest stories, and of course, always important, that first warning forecast. We're back with News Channel 13 today at 5 a.m., but of course, stay tuned here across News Channel 13 social media for all the big news the rest of today. Hope you have a great Tuesday, everyone. Thanks for hanging out with us here. We'll see you tomorrow. I'm Chris Honorato.